Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to the video. Today we are expanding our guide series on Fortnite. This one's going to focus on how you can improve at your arena gameplay, how you can finish higher places, get more kills, last longer in the end game, and probably qualify either for the Champions League or possibly even the World Cup. So today's video, I'm going to be using some highlights actually from FaZe Sway. He's a really incredible controller player, and he dropped a really great 10 kill end game play. He basically got 10 kills during the end game moving zone, and he showcased a lot of great strategies and a lot of great tips you can use to improve your own game. Plus the clip is just straight up goated. So if you guys do enjoy it, feel free to hit that like button. Make sure you guys get yourself subscribed to FaZe Sway. He just got recruited by FaZe. He's absolutely blowing up right now. Been an incredible controller player for a very, very long time. It's great to see that he's getting his comeuppance and getting a lot of exposure right now. So this part starts where Sway is actually coming out of zone. Looks like he's kind of gotten trapped a little bit by Storm. Probably got put on a bad side of zone for the rotation. So he starts building up just to try to get height here. Always know that height is key. He sees a player coming in out of Storm and immediately cuts them off. Keep in mind, despite actually going out of Storm to make this play, sometimes it's smart, especially considering that 50 health per kill. Players don't expect somebody to be coming behind them at that point. Now, once you've made it into the next zone, you have a little bit of time on your side. It's important to peek and see if there's somebody on high ground. Right now, you want to see if they're vulnerable, and in this case, they very much are. They only had a single joiner. So then, once you get your high ground, don't wait to peek. And this is exactly what Sway does. If you have some time, see if you can line some people up, maybe potentially get a kill. He sees this guy flying in on this umbrella, so he knows that there's going to be a significant amount of time that he can beam this guy, and he does get the shot off. Now, high ground can be great to get very easy kills on people moving through the open. However, it does have two major downsides. One, you can get really, really targeted on high, and also it burns a lot of materials to maintain that carpet and maintain your height. So here we see that Sway actually drops down to put some pressure on these players while being careful to maintain the fact that he's not going to drop all the way to the ground and try and keep high ground above everybody else. So essentially, he closes the distance on others, conserves his mats while achieving kills. A lot of people think that you can't actually play aggressive in competitive Fortnite, and that's simply not true. However, you do have to sit in boxes for a significant portion of the game to get to this point. But once you're at this point, I see a lot of people just continuing to turtle rather than actually taking engagements. And in a lot of cases, some of these engagements can be pretty easy to win because everybody else is so obsessed with turtling. And in this case, again, FaZe Sway takes out another player, giving himself a lot more mats, and again, he tries to retake that high ground. The one thing about dropping down there for those materials, which was the smart play, is that you do relinquish the high ground. So he will temporarily give the other player that high ground while he boxes up, takes a little bit of a look at the other players, make sure he's protected from all sides, and you'll see a retake happen again here. Now, driving for high ground doesn't necessarily make sense all of the time. It's sort of a window of opportunity. When you're in the middle of these moving zones, that is when you want to be driving for high ground, but it will get to a point where you no longer want to take it because you're actually going to be kind of left out to dry, sitting on the high ground while most of the fighting happens down below. You kind of want to pay attention to how much builds are kind of going on around you, how many players are left alive, and whether or not you can actually move through the builds if you need to drop down to finish out the game in the late storms. So right now, Sway is just fighting guys for the high ground here. There is still a considerable storm size. There's lots of room to move around and drop back down through the storm. So he boxes out this player here, keeps him edged out with Storm, and he eventually goes down. Now he's dropping all the way back in now as you can see that the builds are getting a lot more congested down below. He knows that he's going to need to drive down on the low ground now in order to finish out these kills and get this dub. So again, he's just plucking players. He's looking around. He's also not afraid to go out and Storm here, which is a big thing. That's another main point that I would like you guys to take from this gameplay, is that pushing out in the Storm, as long as it's only for a second or two at a time, is not the end of the world and can open up alleyways or angles to get easy kills on opponents. He somehow nuts up there and gets through that trap. I would have choked that guaranteed. But he manages to not panic, again, an important aspect. And you see right here, again, dipping out of Storm is not the end of the world. In fact, it gives you the opportunity to dumpster these two guys here and adds another level of unpredictability to his movement. Keep in mind, being unpredictable in this game is key. Players are really looking for you to make the obvious push while driving through Storm and driving through builds. If you're dipping out of Storm for a second, that can really put people on their heels and give you that surprise, that edge to get that dub. So the main points I'd like to take from FaZe's gameplay here is don't be afraid to use the Storm to your advantage. You can either ride right on the Storm or even take very brief flanks out of the Storm and back in to obtain high ground and get a surprise on your opponent. That always works very, very well. From this gameplay, FaZe also uses an incredible game awareness with regards to when to go to high ground and when to go to low ground. A lot of it is based on how many players are left alive in the zone and how many players are kind of underneath you in what could potentially be an unreachable level of building for that late zone as it closes out. You got to maintain that awareness, and again, that is something that FaZe demonstrates very, very well. Also, he definitely demonstrates that you can still be incredibly aggressive in that end game. Don't be afraid to push people as long as it makes a little bit of sense to, and if you have that advantageous position. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you guys did find it helpful, hit that like button. Again, get yourself subscribed to FaZe. I'm sure a lot of you guys already are. He's absolutely blowing up in this community right now, and he's a really humble, awesome guy. So definitely check him out if you have not already. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.